I'm gonna take it and see if if it works out and see if we can replace the one that we have now.
And what is it called? Ohio what?
Ohio Foot and Ankle Specialist.
Ohio Foot and Ankle Specialist.
That's way too many words from Mace.
No, I'm thinking how I'm gonna do the O's. I'm thinking.
The camera's got you, by the way, so we're expecting it at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
fuck out of here, yo, fuck out of here like you Bill Ross, nigga. You ain't this nigga. You ain't him. you him? Yo, you ain't this nigga, murder.
oh my God.
You ain't Bill Ross. Bill Ross drove shit on the spot. Bill Ross had a shit done in 30 minutes.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing that right now.
You're not fucking with Bill Ross, bro. You can't fuck with Bill. 30 minutes, RP, man.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Bob Ross. Can't fuck with Bob Ross, man.
Oh my gosh, the camera pan is hilarious. Well, I'm happy everybody's having a great day, but I can tell you somebody who's probably not having the best day. Ben Simmons is officially out for the remainder of the season with a back injury. So I'm just going to ask you guys straight up, do you guys think his career is over?
Oh my goodness. He's out with what?
Back injury. Remember that nerve impingement thing I told y'all about? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I started off. That nigga done, man. I don't know if his career over, but man, I don't know who said it earlier in the season where they say Ben just loved the lifestyle and not necessarily love being an NBA player. And I don't know if I like paid attention to when y'all said it then, but I'm like paying attention to it now. And I said, man, there's no reason that this dude has, well, not no reason. I just don't believe that he has this many injuries and he's not playing it up, to some degree. And I just was like, man, this dude just doesn't love basketball and he doesn't want to play. And a back injury is one of those things where I don't say you can fake it, but you can make something seem like it's more strenuous than what it is. And so it just doesn't look like my man wants to play in the NBA. He might want to get the hell out of New York and go elsewhere. Maybe want to live on the West Coast. I don't know. But it doesn't look like Ben Simmons wants to play to me. Just my personal opinion.
You want me to go next, Ross? Mace Ross? Concentrating.
Real, I guess so, Cam.
Mace is like a jack of all trades. He's a barber too, in case you didn't know. He cuts hair also. He fixes bikes. He does like all type of Christian. He's one of them niggas who do everything. So it's gonna turn out decent, but then Maurice ain't gonna be able to use it.
I need more time. I'm finished already. I already got it.
What is that? What is that?
Okay.
I really want to know.
I never thought that YouTube was on this scam. Those $6,400 ads that you see, I never thought that YouTube was in on it. So,
like me?
Foot and ankle? What is this?
It's an O.
O, foot and ankle and waves?
Yeah.
So, okay. Maurice, would you buy this logo?
You can't see it. You can't see it.
That's what it is.
That's a pretty decent O though. That's pretty decent for a perfect circle.
It's that. Come on, it's that. And it's supposed to be black with white letters. You just need the O because once you trademark it, you got to spend money on the logo to make it pop. Mm-hmm. The more people see it, the more they believe in it.
This is the outline.
Yeah, this is just the outline.
Simmons, man, this nigga's crazy, man. Listen, I wouldn't buy that logo. I think it's good for a hood nigga. If you outside in the corner, niggas trying to start a company.
Yeah.
Niggas in the hood like, yo, go to Murder, we need the label. for the label. Somebody in the hood would buy that.
Yeah, it's like
but you gotta tell niggas you ain't do it.
Yeah.
You gotta tell a nigga last name gotta be Francois. Francois. Yeah, they buy shit from niggas with them funny names. Yo, back to Ben Simmons real quick. Look, it's just, I don't want to keep hitting on a punching bag. We've been talking about this since the beginning of the season. This is nothing shocking to me. This is how the last few seasons ended. Mo is absolutely right as far as back injuries are concerned. You can say, problem is you don't know whether to believe him or not because you seriously got a back injury and the doctors can't figure it out. Or you can be faking a back injury and they can't figure it out. So what I will say is this. I have to give Ben Simmons a lot of credit for robbing the NBA with no gun like this. The robbery is ridiculous. So 2 years ago when he first got to the Nets, he got $33 million. Last year he got $35 million. This year he's getting $38 million. And next year, the final year of his contract, he's going to be making $40 million. I don't know how many games he played in the last 4 seasons, but whatever it is, $33 million, $36 million, $38 million, and $40 million is amazing for a nigga who probably didn't even play a full season within all 4 seasons. So, Ben, you got my props for being a robbery like this. As far as you get another job, what I will say is this. Wherever he goes, if somebody even wants him, wherever it is, wherever the bare minimum is, that's what he's going to get. He probably, I don't know if he qualifies for a veteran minimum.
That's what I was going to say, the veteran minimum.
Yeah, I don't know if he qualifies for that yet, but if he does, that's what he's getting. But you will not get another max dollar ever. I won't say ever because you're still pretty young. You got some time, but it does not look good, bro. You're going to have to play for 2-3 years to prove yourself again before you get some real money. But at the same time, you made enough money to where you're like, fuck it. So I don't want to say his career is over. But if he does go somewhere else, it'll be pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, I mean, if I was signing him as a GM, I would sign him to a 10-game contract with the option to pay him what he's worth if he's at every 10 games. That's what I would do. I wouldn't invest more than that because, like you said, Killer, he plays for about 11 games, then get hurt, then come back for another span of 10 games, and then leave out again. So I protect my money.
I don't think it's been a 10-game. I don't think it's a 10-game span this year.
For real?
I really. Nah, not even this year. I think he might have played 10 games. I don't even know if he played 10 games this year.
Said he played 15 games.
Yeah, we all games like 60 games into the season. He played 15 games.
And since 2019, it says he's played 172 games according to this site.
That's 2 seasons.
Yeah, exactly.
And with playoffs, that's less than 2 seasons with playoffs.
Yeah, but I just would say at some point, man, I don't know, I think if you're a professional athlete, at some point the money, you make so much money where the shit shouldn't mean, I guess, as much. And you going out there and you're doing it for the love of it, and I think that may be the disconnect with people. It's motherfuckers who work hard for money and just average everyday person. And I think the resentment with him comes from motherfuckers like, man, you make $30-40 million. There's nothing that's that serious that can have you hung up and faking injuries and not want to get out here and play and perform for people who come to see y'all. And I think that may be a lot of people's frustration. Then I think all the jokes and everything get built from there.
I think actually when I was in Australia, right, when I was getting ready for the show, there was nowhere you can go to get the sports from the United States. So even though basketball is great here, and I heard, even Killer, when you be saying that this is football is America's sport or, stuff like that. When you're in Australia, nobody's really watching basketball. Not really. So it may be very popular here, but to his defense, when he gets over there, that's not really the focus. It's like people playing soccer, people playing probably rugby and all of this other stuff, and they're not even thinking about basketball to a great degree. And that seems like it's translating over here that he wanted to come over here to see what it's like, but after he been with the Kardashians and he, met the owner of Balenciaga, he's kind of not motivated anymore. That's what I'm picking up.
So just in case y'all didn't know, the government is actually lying to us and stealing from us.
Well, what I will say about that is real quick, it's arguably, and this is a big debate amongst basketball outside of America, that Australia may have the second best basketball league outside of the NBA. A lot of people say that. It's a lot of people that's supposed to go pro that don't want to go to China and necessarily Europe, and they end up in Australia. She was out there for a while. I guess it's beautiful. The weather's nice in the winter, so on and so forth. But, even shout out to my man Corey Homicide Williams. He's a former announcer and former player from over there. That's why they sent Lonzo Ball over there as well, because it's supposed to be the toughest league outside of the NBA. So what I really believe is that he rounding up his money as he should, and then maybe we don't know what he may say after next season. No, he may really say, I don't want to play ball no more. But why say that now when you're in the middle of getting another $70-80 million?
Another sympathy bag. I call it a sympathy bag right now.
Right. So, it's people who've done it before. It's people like, I respect Andrew Bynum. Andrew Bynum said, I'm good. Yeah. Like, Andrew, you're like 23 years old, cut it out. Niggas, I said I'm good. You don't believe me? Let me go dye my hair blonde and walk around with 2-3 bitches. So I can already, this David Stern league, he doing shit David Stern don't like to prove he not coming back. He meant what he said. At 24, 25 years old, nigga said, I said I'm done. He pulled a murder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At a young age, nigga said, niggas don't believe me. I said I'm not coming back. And he was super young. You can also go to a player like Calvin Johnson, Megatron.
Yeah.
He said, I said I'm done. I'm not coming back. He was a little older and he was doing his thing, but he put his foot down. He said, I'm not coming back. You got to give it up to Lennox Lewis. He still had a lot of fight left in him, of course.
Yeah.
But he said, I'm not coming back. And if Ben Simmons may be on his road, but want to grab his money before you do it, who knows?
Okay. Moving along, AB and Alicia Baumgartner are going back and forth after she called him broke. AB came back and said he said she's not really from Ohio for real, and he called her ran through and listed people in the industry that she was messing with. So do you guys think he took it too far? And then what do you guys think is too far? Murray's first.
Yeah, this is an Ohio issue. This is an Ohio issue. Us niggas from Ohio, like Killer say.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I don't know. This goes like a few different ways, right? So I don't want to chop her name up, but Alicia, she's been in the news lately because they've been trying to egg on a fight with her and Clarissa Shields, and I don't know how many. I don't know if anybody keep up with boxing that much, but they've been trying to pit them towards each other. So I know she's been in the news lately for that, right? I know that's been like a hot topic, right? And then AB situation, like when I first started thinking about this goes back to when, like, I started thinking about when AB was kind of like taunting and hitting at I said, I'm gonna get to your question. When he was hitting at Floyd, like, yo, Floyd, give me a fight. He started talking crazy about Floyd and just saying all type of crazy shit and stories that he was just trying to get the energy or promotion around Floyd, like basically letting him fight him for like a payday. And then when I just like looked at AB and where he was at in his career and just the amount of attention that he gets when he just starts to do his thing on the internet, I looked at this like in two ways. Like, one, he's talking crazy about her because he's like taking shots at Bill Haney for Trainer, like for Trainer, talk about he's calling Bill Pimpin' Bill. But what I think he was trying to get at, he was trying to egg on Bill to say, hey man, won't you let me fight Devin or create some sort of synergy or energy around that? Where I think he kind of took it too far and it went somewhere else. He knows that she messed with the dude Tony Harrison, and Tony Harrison is a boxer out of Detroit. And I just think like it get real touchy and real messy when you got somebody who in a relationship and you basically calling her a hoe and you talking about all the niggas that she fucking, like it just get into like a whole different space. And I just seen like, it is just from my lifetime and just being in prison, I just seen so many dudes who probably wouldn't do nothing if you disrespected them, but when you disrespect the women that they with or in front of women, you kind of force people hand. And I just start thinking about Tony Harrison and how he would receive the comments rather than Alicia. Because now when you're talking about the girl that somebody is with as a whole, like you kind of put the dude in a situation where he like, what the fuck you mean she a hoe? You know, I'm with her and you clowning her, but you kind of taking shots at me. So I thought like that's where it got with a little messy. But then I think AB a nigga who really don't give a fuck. And he like, nigga, like I got work and nigga, if you want to smoke, whatever. And I think that he knows that it's good for business. You look at Jake Paul, you look at, you know, how social media drums shit up. And I don't know, I just looked at it from a few different angles. I don't know y'all thoughts, but I know I was long-winded, but that's kind of like my thoughts on the whole situation.
I want to hear from the rest of Ohio. Killer, what you got to say?
Get in here now.
First of all, shout out to Fremont, man. We ain't going to diss no parts of Ohio, man. I like the way AB trying to diss Fremont like that, man. Like we all together, man. Cincinnati, Columbus, Youngstown, Cleveland, Fremont, Toledo. It's a bunch of us, baby. Yo, don't zero out on Fremont like that, AB. We all from Ohio. Don't do that, man. I know you upset, but don't take it out on Fremont. Shout out to them niggas out there and them young ladies out there in Fremont. We're going to start with that. But I totally agree with what Maurice just said. That's kind of where I was headed. Is that this is more of a Adrian Broner, Bill Haney situation, and she's just becoming a casualty in it. When we put out the day we filmed our show with Bill Haney, the very next day, Adrian Broner and Bill Haney was on live arguing with each other before this even started. As soon as we shot our show with Bill Haney, the very next day it was on live. It was a big argument between AB and Bill Haney, and they called him a bitch ass nigga. Adrian Broner said, "You a bitch ass nigga." AB said, "You trolling." Bill said, "Nigga, I don't be trolling, I'm rolling." I said, I like that one, but I'll keep it now. He said, Bill said, "I'm never trolling, I'm rolling." AB said, "I'm rolling too." Bill said, "Well, cut on the lights. You in that dark ass car." AB was in the car. It was. He said, "Let's see what you rolling in." AB said, "Stop playing with me, nigga. You know I'm in the streets." Bill said, "What streets you in? You in the dark right now." It was crazy. It's on Bill Haney's page for anybody who wants to go back and look at it. He kept it up. So that stemmed from, you know, I don't want to say from our show, but it's coincidental. Not saying that they didn't have problems before, but after our show, this live argument happened between Adrian Broner and Bill Haney, and then I caught up on the rest with Alicia. You know, Bill's training her. AB said, and I'm just bringing our viewers up to speed if they're not aware with everything that's going on. Bill Haney is training or, you know, coaching, whatever he is to Alicia. AB gets on his story or his page that says that Bill ain't no trainer. He don't even train his own son, da, 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 da. Goes on and on and on. And then he starts to call out Alicia in the middle of that, what Maurice just said, as far as him calling out, calling her a hoe, basically. Naming 4 or 5 niggas that she supposedly slept with, according to him. And then the guy, Tony, that Maurice just said, which is her boyfriend right now, I don't know him very well, but Adrian didn't really have a lot of respect for him either. Adrian,
you're a brawler.
Yeah, well, and he didn't, but that day on his page, he disrespected him because what AB said was, mad niggas ran through her. Tony, I don't know why you wifed her. And he said, I saw you. And he said, man, I don't know what you was thinking about, but you wifed her. After he named all the niggas that supposedly ran through her. He said, you just a different type of nigga. That's on you. So I was like, wow. Like I said, Maurice, you have more boxing background on him, but I was like, that was disrespectful. Everybody catches strays right now because of Adrian and Bill Haney's beef. So as far as what I think about him going back and forth with her, I think that wherever it's at, it should be left at. I think that young lady, of course, is going to have a response if you're saying something about her. And what I've noticed is that AB is standing on, all he was trying to say was Bill Haney is not the trainer. He doesn't even train his son, and he's standing on that. But it done got leaked into how many niggas she fucking, basically her boyfriend's a simping, and, you know, in other words, what he's saying. And now it just went past him and Bill Haney. It's leaking into other people's personal matters. So hopefully it'll die down. You know, I like to see Ohio stick together. And this is somebody who's not from Ohio interrupting Ohio business. You know what I'm saying? So to speak. So,
well,
I just think that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last thing I'll say is this. I didn't really see her last response, but I just seen that Adrian did another response. He did 2 on his page so far. But when I checked her, she was just putting subliminals on her story, like, people wake up and think about me in the morning. I ain't got to respond. You know my name. She was being light when I seen it. I didn't really see a lot of, you know, girls know how to say 2 or 3 things and piss you off without having to be long and drawn out. They know how to hurt.
Can you put all the ABs in order? Adrian Broner, Alicia, and AB, the football player.
Antonio Brown, in order of what?
Just 1 through 3. Let me hear you.
1 through 3 regarding what?
I mean, who's the best ABs to you?
The best AB?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna choose the girl first. So shout out Alicia. Then I'm gonna put Antonio Brown, Steelers, duh. Then
Adrian Broner.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. They all run with the title AB.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a pretty interesting one. Everybody's looking online. Give us your top 3 ABs.
That's a good question. Okay. Moving along. Francis Ngannou is getting ready to fight Anthony Joshua. What are you guys predicting for the match? Maurice first.
Are you having trouble paying for healthcare, rent, gas, groceries, and other bills? Then you've got to see this. The government is basically giving me $1,300 in premium credits every single month just because I'm under 6.
Well, I think Francis, if you've seen him fight Tyson Fury last time, he surprised a bunch of people by having the ability to take a punch. He was a lot more fundamentally sound than I thought. You know, I had only previously seen him fight in the UFC, never seen him box, and I thought that Tyson Fury was basically going to basically beat him a lot better than what took place. And really, Francis actually won that fight. So I think that he actually goes out here and beat Anthony Joshua. But when I look at this fight, I think of 2 things. And I look at this fight and I was like, man, this was the fight. So when you look at the purse and the money that these dudes gonna make, this was the fight that Deontay Wilder was supposed to make and have when he was in his prime. Him and Anthony Joshua went back and forth, just talking crazy to each other. And they both had at one time they both got offered like $40 or $50 million a piece, but nobody wanted to lose their undefeated status when they both was undefeated. And ultimately they both their careers in some capacity both went in different directions. But be it that Anthony Joshua's from England. I think he's from England or something like that. And he has more cachet or he has more international appeal than Deontay Wilder. He's still able to grab $50 million. And then Francis Ngannou, shout outs to him because he wasn't making a ton of money in the UFC. And since he fought Tyson Fury and had a good showing, he's able to now fight Francis. But ultimately, I think Francis being, I've seen a couple of times where Francis had fought Anthony Joshua, or when he had fought Tyson Fury, he has stunned him, fundamentally sound, and he built almost like a bodybuilder. So I don't really see him getting bruised and hurt, by Anthony Joshua. Just my personal opinion.
Yeah. Just make a little correction. You're here with the experts, so I got to bring you up to speed. Well, actually, Wilder did offer him a whole lot of money. I remember that back in the days to fight. And I think Anthony Joshua has always been scared. And this is my take right here. I think Anthony Joshua has always been afraid of Deontay Wilder, especially when he was punching crazy, and he was knocking niggas out. Anthony Joshua was trying to fight anybody but Anthony Wilder. I think that's what got him knocked out when he was trying to duck him before, and he ran into Andy Ruiz. You remember that?
Yep.
Yeah. So he's been trying to duck. He wanted to fight Tyson Fury before he would fight Wilder, but he's probably ready to fight Wilder now because Wilder's been hurt a couple of times now, so it's not the same Wilder probably in his eyes. But when it comes to this guy, Francis, how do you say his last name again?
Ngannou.
Ngannou. I actually like him as a heavyweight. But when I saw him again against Tyson Fury, he looked very impressive. He looked almost like he's taking his striking from the UFC and using it in boxing, but he's using it actually well. And he knocked Tyson Fury down, I think, once or twice. So I think when it comes to Anthony Joshua, I'm going to go out on a limb, and say that Francis will stop Anthony Joshua. I'm going on a limb and saying he's going to stop Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua don't like to really get active like that.
I'll say this whole boxing shit is a mess, man.
Yeah.
The whole shit is a mess. The whole boxing shit is a mess, bro. It's one big fucking mess, big. I go find UFC niggas to come into boxing to make an interesting fight in boxing.
Yeah.
This is where we at. This is where we at. We're going to talk about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson a little bit later in the show.